The Decimator Great Axe's ability is really pretty straightforward. When you block with a non-equipment card, you can have the defense of a defending card. But what is less clear to some is how that detrimental effect can be applied, and the implications of it to blocking cards. So in today's New Player and Old 2 series, we're covering this ability and how you can use it to your advantage to decimate your opponent's equipment. See what I did there? A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast for, that's right, another installment of the New Player and Old 2 series here on the channel. So why are we talking Decimator Great Axe today? It's such a simple ability, Andrew. Why does this need a clarification video? Well, first, I've ran into some people who didn't quite understand it, right? If you're not reading the release notes, you maybe didn't see that it was errated by the way to end of turn, which is applicable. But furthermore, as of the time I'm shooting this video, it's not being played correctly. It's not coded correctly, whatever you want to say, on Talishar, which I think is leading to a fair amount of confusion around the axe itself. All right, so to start us off, let's go ahead and go over to the release notes itself, right? So the Decimator Great Axe for 3, swing 4, but the first time this is defended by a non-equipment card each turn, right? The first time each turn, which is relevant, have the base of target defending card rounded up. Okay, so from the release notes themselves, you can target any defending card on the combat chain, not just the cards on the chain link. The base defense of the defending cards have until end of turn, which is clarified, right, is effectively an errata there. And you may target defending equipment. Triggered effects like Temper consider the modified defense as to whether it will be destroyed when the combat chain closes. Right, so the obvious thing there, again, which is not coded correctly on Talishar as of the time I'm shooting this video, which has led to confusion, is, let's say, in this situation, you block with a card from hand, let's just say a normal 3 block, but you also push forward Courage of Bladehold at full pump, right, with no counters on it. What you can do, instead of targeting the card from hand that starts the trigger, you can apply that detrimental effect to the equipment itself, which would then have it making it 1. And when it gets the 1 counter at end of turn, it's now at 0, which triggers Temper and blows up the equipment. It's actually very, 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 very strong and very relevant, because if they sit down with the wrong equipment, it can, in many cases, effectively take that equipment offline or force them to block with that equipment without a card from hand, which in many cases will result in a hit, which, if you're playing Decimator Dorinthea, could let you go again. Right, another thing that's very relevant to this is smart blocking, right? And this is more playing against it. But let's say you have a nice spice. Let's say I come in for 10 on a Decimator Great Axe, right? Something like a Felling Swing and a Decimator Great Axe. I'm swinging for 10, and what you really want to do is Soul Shield against this, right? Great card. But if you come in with Soul Shield alone, again, first time each turn, that Soul Shield will be a 3. So what a lot of folks will do is they'll throw a card forward, like a normal 3 block, even a 2 block, whatever it may be. That will get halved. And then because that was the first time you turn, the effect's dead, it's used. And then you can now throw your Soul Shield or your Overpower or Staunch Response or whatever it may be, and it will be unaffected. All right. So very smart play in that situation. Now, again, this is also relevant for if you are playing something like Decimator Dorinthea, where you're trying to potentially get a second swing out of it. Do remember, it is the first time each turn. So if you push forward, they throw, let's say, a Fate Foreseen in front of it. Fate Foreseen will go to 2. You get your hit. You can go again. Say they throw now a Sink Below in front of it. That Sink Below will still come in for 4. So I think those are all of like the super relevant use cases out of this. I just thought it was worth clarification because, as I said, that the second part of the currently on Talishar, if you swing twice, that is coded correctly, but the equipment thing is not. And that has certainly led to confusion, not only in that environment, but also in person, because a lot of people do their play on there. So I thought this might have some value. Again, quick and dirty, because it's a pretty simple case. but it's worth throwing out there for people to reference. And again, you can bring this back to folks, use it as reference point at your locals, whatever it may be. But again, you see the release notes there, and that's how the card works. So that'll do it for this evening. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. Again, remember, if you liked this, if you find these videos valuable, pound that like button, pound that sub button. And if nothing else, folks, go Commando.